by saying that I was looking for people with home equity in their house to downsize. That was my goal client. And then I changed it to I'm looking for a first-time home buyer. And then I was in a dental office the other day, and the dentist said to me that his son is looking, his son is now an orthodontist. And he's a young guy, just graduated from Vanderbilt. He went to Michigan and he went to Vanderbilt. He's an orthodontist. And he's looking for a place, but he's confused, and he wants to spend $700,000 to buy a house. And I said, he's very young. He's the youngest of your kids. I coached him in Pony League. And I said, why is he looking to spend all this money? He's been out of Atlanta for so long, he really doesn't know what there is to Atlanta. He's looking at Dunwoody. But there's so many places. You haven't been to Virginia Highlands. East Atlanta is starting to grow. So I realized then, because I said, maybe he should rent. Now, a real estate agent who hears that someone is buying a $700,000 home and then says, well, maybe he shouldn't buy the home, maybe he should rent. What, are you crazy? As my wife said, if he wants to spend so much money, let him spend that money. Well, he's not my client. They have a friend of the family who's a real estate agent, but they haven't signed any papers. But I really think that he should rent a home and find where he wants to live. So I stand by it, and I said, look, I can't tell this kid to buy a house because I really don't believe it. And I'm trying to treat him like I treat my own kids. So the moral of the story is that I want to do what's best for the kid, and that's what's best for me. And that comes from a 30-year job of being a high school teacher and a basketball coach. And it's a different kind of mentality. I might be the kind of person who needs to work for somebody. I might be. I might not be the one who can have their own business because I don't always do what's in my best interest. But I can't help it because I was a special needs teacher for 20 of those years. 10 years I was a teacher of juvenile delinquents, at-risk kids. So you have to think out of the box. You cannot think like the average teacher does, because the average teacher says, behave yourself or go to the office. Well, if I sent the kid to the office, excuse the expression, the N-word. You're not allowed to use the N-word in Fulton County schools. There's a segment of the population who's black, who uses the N-word as a greeting. If I were to send a kid every time they use the N-word to the office, then I have nobody in my class. My class is mostly African-American students and Latino. So if I'd send someone to the office for saying that, even when they called me that, hey, and how you doing? I had nobody left. So you have to change. And you have to do what's best for the kid, because every child's important. That was philosophy. In education, I think teachers need a philosophy. Every child's important. If you have that attitude, every child's important, you don't put square pegs in round holes. You find a way or make a way. And I thought when I left teaching, because they cut my program, not because I wanted to quit, I had to find a job where it was worthwhile, which would have that aspect to it, where I could help people. And so I've taken that teacher mentality and brought that to the real estate business. Ironically, or not ironically, I've had more rentals than I've had houses that I've sold, because I have a habit of telling people, wait a minute, why don't you rent, and then next year when you make more money, you could get a bigger house? Because I can't help but be the teacher who's selling real estate rather than the real estate person who used to teach.